Here's a tutorial for a yoga pose called cat balance. And I'm also going to draw in some alignment principles from Tai Chi and Animal Flow that will help with this pose. Now, cat balance is good for building your stability and core strength. It begins in a tabletop position, so wrists under shoulders, knees under hips, and feet are pointed. And from here you're going to lift opposite hand and foot, so bringing limbs parallel with the floor. So I'm going to use the principle of empty and full from Tai Chi. I want to redistribute my weight first. So if I want to lift right hand and left shin, then my left hand and right shin has to bear all of my weight first. So redistributing my weight so I could break contact with the floor with the right hand and left shin. And another alignment principle here is with the base arm, you want to externally rotate it. So turning to the front for a moment, externally rotating the base arm so that the elbow crease points forwards. This will help to create stability in the shoulder joint. So coming back to the tabletop position, I've redistributed my weight, lifting opposite hand and foot. And from here I'll move the limbs equal and opposite to one another. So with the lifted limbs, both of them will be parallel with the floor. The upper arm is going to be close to the ear, hand reaching forwards, palm facing to the side. And with the head, you could gaze downwards at the floor, or you could look forwards to the hand. But if you're looking forwards, that'll want to draw your spine into a bit of a back bend. And really, you want to try and keep a nice straight line from the lifted foot to the lifted hand. And also with the head, you want to make sure you're not dropping the head down. Keep the head lifted in line with the shoulder girdle. With the lifted leg, the foot could be pointed or flexed. And with either position, you want to make sure you're not externally rotating the leg, as then the hip's going to lift up. So you want to imagine a spiral motion, corkscrewing the legs down, keeping the thigh facing down towards the floor, so that's internally rotating the lifted leg. And this will help to keep the torso parallel with the floor as well, as you don't want to rotate either ways here. You also want to keep equal length in the left and right sides, so you're not side bending to one side or the other. So keeping a relatively neutral position in the torso. And also, when you lift the arm up, it's common for the lower ribs to want to flare out and draw you into a back bend. So you want to think about drawing the lower ribs towards the hips, engaging your core muscles here. And that'll help to keep a nice straight line from the lifted foot to the lifted hand. I'll demonstrate that on the other side as well. So now redistributing my weight so I could lift left hand, right shin. Limbs move equal and opposite to one another. So checking for my alignment here. Keeping the core muscles engaged. Trying to move as little as possible. You want to find stability in this pose. So holding for as long as you want, and drawing the limbs towards each other at an equal pace as you softly come back down to tabletop pose. Now, a modification on cat balance, if you want more of a challenge, is to do it from a static beast position. So I'll just go through the differences in the base positions first. So with tabletop pose, the knees are directly under the hips, feet are pointed, shins on the floor. With a beast position, the knees will come an inch or two in front of the hip line. So they're not directly under the hips anymore. toes curl under. With the knees still down on the floor, you could consider this a baby beast position. Regular beast position is with the knees lifted an inch or two off of the floor. So this is your static beast position. And maybe you could see where I'm going with this, is we're going to lift opposite hand and foot, extending them in opposite directions with the base knee lifted. So this is going to challenge your stability and core strength more. So if I want to lift left hand, right leg, I'll redistribute my weight first, so that's using empty and full from Tai Chi. Externally rotating the base shoulder, creating stability in the shoulder joint. Moving limbs equal and opposite to one another. And I want to make sure I'm not rotating the torso one way or the other, keeping the torso parallel with the floor. Slowly drawing the limbs at the same pace towards each other, softly planting hand and foot. Back to static beast. I'll demonstrate that once more on the other side, and I'll give a front view for this. So from static beast, redistributing my weight, externally rotating the base hand, finding stability as I extend the leg and arm. And I want to make sure I'm not straightening that base leg, keep the hips and the knee low. Whew. Yeah, that one's more of a challenge. So that's the tutorial for cat balance, and a progression on the movement for more of a challenge.